Hi everyone, my name is Sarah Song and I'm super excited to be here with you today to talk about two of my favorite topics, which is aromatherapy and being kind to your mind. I work with Murad in global visual merchandising, creating displays for retailers like Sephora, Ulta, Professional Channel, and our international partners. And I'm also a certified aromatherapist and founder of wellness brand Love Your Limbic. I'm super passionate about helping people manage stress using aromatherapy as a tool for self-care. And one of the reasons why I love working with Murad is not only do they make amazing skincare products, but they are a company built upon Dr. Murad's pillars of health and wellness. And one of these pillars is be kind to your mind, which as an aromatherapist, this concept of being kind to your mind is near and dear to my heart because our sense of smell is the fastest way to calm the mind when we are feeling stressed. So today I want to take you through some essential oils that are great for stress and also show you how to make your own personalized mini essential oil diffuser with Himalayan salt. And the awesome thing about these diffusers is that they're pocket sized. They're totally portable. You don't need electricity, you don't need water. And so you can really make several of them. They're super easy to make and take them with you on the go, put one in your bag, keep one in your car or even by your nightstand. They're just a really awesome way to be able to get a burst of aromatherapy throughout your day. So how does aromatherapy help us be kind to our mind? And the simple answer is it really comes down to the biology of the brain. When we smell something, such as an essential oil, the odor molecules travel up your nose and activate a part of the brain called the limbic system, and that's also known as your emotional brain. And this limbic system is really, really important because it also manages other key functions, such as memory, hormones, and your fight or flight stress response. So as you know, when we get stressed out, everything really amps up. Our heart rate goes up, our adrenaline's pumping, our thoughts are racing, and all of this is for good reason. It's your brain telling your body to move into action, to react to something quickly against something that it perceives as a threat. The problem is when we are chronically stressed out, which most of us are, that heightened level of stress is going to take a toll on our emotional and our physical body. So the best way to offset that stress is to disrupt that system. And that's where the power of our sense of smell comes in, because we know that when we use our sense of smell, it's activating on the same part of the brain as that stress response. So think of it almost like your sense of smell becomes this superpower, and these aromatic molecules can actually go up and communicate and signal back to the brain that we are actually safe, that we are sound, that we are okay. And it's a way to almost trick the brain into feeling like we shouldn't be as stressed out. And the win-win is that when we smell something like an essential oil, which is a direct aromatic molecule of the plant itself, we have a sense of serenity, of calm, of a connection to nature. And it's with these repeated moments of being able to use the sense of smell that's gonna enhance our overall sense of well-being in the long run. So I want to talk a little bit about what is an essential oil. We see these little bottles and sometimes it's confusing what actually is inside the bottle, so I do want to clarify what that is. And an essential oil is made up of the aromatic molecules that come from the plant. So it's really important that we distinguish that it actually came from the plant material and that it's not a synthetic fragrance oil or anything that could have been created in a laboratory. There are no FDA regulations when it comes to your essential oil, so it's really good to just know your suppliers and where it is coming from. And I wanted to share 5 different essential oils that I use as my go-tos. I have so many that I really love, but I just picked 5 from different aromatic families that are on the more calming spectrum all the way to the more energizing. So starting over here, we have chamomile, and we have the amazing chamomile flower here itself. So you can see that it has the white petals with the yellow centers, and when it's dried, it looks kind of like this. And you probably know from just drinking chamomile tea that it's incredibly calming and sedative, and that's exactly what it is. Chamomile essential oil is going to be your go-to for calming the nervous system and for if you have issues with sleep, which many of us do, and stress manifests itself in different ways, including the inability to sleep. So the aroma for chamomile is actually like kind of a really strong, sweet, apple-like scent. So I do like to blend it with other essential oils just because sometimes the smell can be a little bit overpowering. But again, it's going to be an amazing go-to to relax and to calm the nervous system. And then one of the essential oils that I blend it with quite often, especially for the relaxation angle, is lavender. So we have the amazing lavender here, as well as right here. So you can see how beautiful the actual plant is, and when it's dried, this is what the buds look like, and that's where the essential oil comes from. And lavender has the nickname of being like the godmother of essential oils. It's probably the most common essential oil, but it is for good reason. It's kind of like a jack of all trades essential oil. Not only is it really relaxing and calming to the nervous system, like the chamomile, but it's really amazing for the skin. So if you have a scrape or a burn or a wound, you can dilute a few drops of lavender in with the lotion and apply it directly to the skin that way. And if lavender is not your aromatic favorite scent, that's okay, because it blends really well with so many other essential oils that you can get the benefits in there of the lavender, but not have that be the main scent at the top of your blend. And then the next one I want to show you is frankincense, which is just really near and dear to my heart. I love frankincense so much. Frankincense is a tree that comes from the desert parts of the world, such as India or North Africa. And the beautiful thing about it is that it has the most calming, almost grounding, spiritual, and really gives a vibe of security. So if you're feeling really scattered and all over the place and you just can't get it together, the frankincense oil, that's the one that I go to, because I find it has this really amazing ability to connect everything from the spirit level to the mind, to the body, down to the earth in this very connective line. I almost call it like a security blanket type of essential oil, because it just makes me feel really calm and secure. And these essential oil molecules actually come out of a resin that when you cut the tree, it oozes this resin, and that's where the essential oils come from. And it's this beautiful golden color here. Next, I have the citrus family. And so these are mandarins, but really in the citrus family, that could include lemons, grapefruits, limes, yuzu. And what I love about the citrus family is that it's just a go-to for anything uplifting and happy, joyous. And when we think of oranges, we just think of sun and summer and uplift. So it has this whole conjured up feeling of uplift and happiness. I don't think I've met anyone who's smelled citrus and was like, oh my God, that's such a downer, because it's such a happy scent. And for this, the essential oils, as you probably know from cooking, are found in the actual rind, the actual zest. So a quick tip is, if you are reaching for an orange just to peel it for a snack, like spend a few minutes just smelling the oil, because it's so incredibly powerful and lovely. Lastly, we have eucalyptus. So eucalyptus I put in the more energizing and clearing. Sometimes when we're stressed out, it can manifest itself in this concept of stagnation, or you just feel funky and you cannot shake this feeling. So anything in the eucalyptus family or even a rosemary is going to be amazing for clearing that energy out and helping move some of that stagnation. So I love eucalyptus so much. It's probably my go-to. It's also great if you have like a cough or a sore throat to do a steam inhalation. But one little trick that I love to do when I need a little push in the morning is to just put a couple drops in the corner of your shower and then let the heat of the shower kind of steam that up, and you have your own eucalyptus inhalation. So these are my go-tos, going from calming all the way to energizing. There are so many more that you can add to your repertoire, but I think that these are a really nice grouping that showed the different aromatic families. Oh, and I just wanted to show one last thing, which is that sometimes even I have a sprig of rosemary that I just picked from my garden this morning, and all you have to do to get the power of this fragrance and the essential oil is just lightly touch these little leaves. There's little sacs of this essential oil that are basically sitting on the leaves. And as you can see, the essential oil lives in different parts of the plant depending on what that plant is. So here it's in the resin, and here it's in the rind, here it's on the leaves. So the essential oils must come from the plant and be 100% natural and pure. Okay, so now I want to show you how to make your own mini essential oil diffuser. And what you're going to need for this part is basically just a stainless steel or glass bowl, a little mixing spoon, and I have this little 1 ounce glass jar. You can use any type of glass jar or a hard PETG plastic, but the general rule is that essential oils really like glass. So even if you have an old spice container laying around or a glass eye cream jar, that would really make a good vehicle for this mini diffuser. And then you're gonna need Himalayan salt. I personally like the Himalayan salt. You could use any type of coarse salt, but what I love about the Himalayan salt is just it's really pretty and it has these minerals in it, and I feel like it lends to its healing properties. So you're gonna need Himalayan salt. So for this particular blend, I'm looking for a relaxed happiness. So I'm gonna go with a lavender because that one is just speaking to me, and that's gonna give me the relaxation properties. And then because I want that happiness and uplift, I'm gonna look to my citruses. And I'm choosing a grapefruit today. That is my personal favorite of the citruses. It just smells so yummy and so good. And I think that these two are going to be really good together. So blending essential oils is an art form in and of itself. So the tip that I use is just go with the intention that you're trying to achieve. And since I want that relaxation with the uplift, I let the ingredients and the plant speak to me. And I always like to smell them together out of the bottle because that's gonna give you a good indicator of what your essential oil diffuser is gonna smell like. And the grapefruit and all citrus molecules, they're really light, very effervescent. And I know that I want this to come out and not be overwhelmed by the lavender. So for this recipe, I'm gonna use a 3-to-1 ratio. So what you wanna do for this size 1 ounce jar is take 2 tablespoons of the Himalayan salt and just put it into your bowl. And for this size of a jar, we want to use anywhere between 15 to 18 drops. Anything more than that is going to just really drown it out, and it's never going to really adhere to the Himalayan salt. So using the 3-to-1 ratio, I'm going to start and only go halfway and then mix it up and do a little smell test. 3, 4, 5, 6, and then I'm just going to do 2 of these. And then you want to just mix it all together and kind of see aromatically if you're liking where this is heading. And I really like the way these two smell together, so I'm going to continue with the same ratio of 3-to-1. Okay. That smells really, really wonderful. And then what I also like to do is to add a little bit of the dried aromatic plant. So I'm just gonna add about 1/8 of a tablespoon. It's really just to give a little bit of a visual impact as well as be able to give me the connection that it's really came from the actual live plant. I think that just adds a little bit more of a dynamic healing property to this aromatic diffuser. So after you're done mixing, you basically want to just fill your glass jar, and this part is honestly very relaxing because you can't really rush this part, and all of what this is doing is to help calm that mind down, and when we can calm the mind down, we're gonna calm the nervous system and calm our bodies down. So take your time with this. I almost think this part is a little bit meditative. basically you have your mini essential oil diffuser. And how do you use this? I have this mantra that I like to shake it to wake it. All of these molecules are still interacting with each other, so every time you use your diffuser, you want to just shake it to wake it up. And it's really as simple as inhaling and smelling it, because like I said before, when we inhale these molecules, it's impacting the same limbic system of the brain. That's going to calm our stress response down. You can pair this with a mantra. You could do this before meditation. You can just smell this while you're in the car driving. I suggest you have a little bit of a calming blend if you're in the car driving, or before nighttime when you're sleeping. But if it's 2 in the afternoon and you're at your desk and you're over drinking more coffee, you could easily make one of these with some eucalyptus or peppermint and just kind of use that as an energizing piece. So hope you enjoy your mini essential oil diffuser. Like I said, they're so easy to make. You can keep them all over the house. And when you're done with it, the scent will last 6 to 12 months, but they are organic compounds. And so the scent is going to change as it oxidizes. Every time you open this up and oxygen gets in, the molecules are going to alter a little bit. So the scent will evolve over time. And when you're over it, just toss it out, wash it out, and start a new one. So hope you enjoyed this. So I do want to take a little bit of time to talk about essential oil safety and how to use them, because even though they are 100% natural, they're incredibly concentrated, not only aromatically, but the chemicals inside them. So when it comes to diffusing, which is extremely popular, I brought my diffuser here, which is a nebulizing diffuser. It doesn't require heat or water, and basically you put the essential oil directly into this glass vessel. And what I love about this diffuser is that it's really concentrated, so you're not going to need to do it a lot. The rule of thumb for diffusing is that you really want to do it for maybe 20 minutes on, 20 minutes off in a very ventilated room. These are volatile organic compounds, which basically means that if they land on your skin, and when they're in the air, they're turning into a gas. But when they're landing on your skin, it's gonna go through your skin, which is our biggest organ, as we know, and then be processed out the liver. So if you are diffusing, some best practices, like I said, are to use in a ventilated room, to do intermittent diffusing. So this one has a built-in on-off, which I love because I just want to set it and forget it. And it has a timer of doing 15 minutes on and 15 minutes off. I even recommend, if you have a small apartment or you're in a small room, to do 15 minutes on, 20 minutes on, and 40 minutes off. You really don't need a lot, especially when it comes to our sense of smell. It's so powerful. And we have some eucalyptus going on in here just to kind of get some energy going. But depending on whatever essential oil you are using, it really doesn't take a lot to get the emotional shift that you're looking for. So when it comes to diffusing, especially if you have pets, it's really important to remember to use it in a ventilated room and give your pet access to leave the room. A dog's olfactory system is probably 50,000 times on the order of our human olfactory system. So what we smell, they're going to be much more sensitive to. So that's diffusing. And the other thing I want to bring up is applying essential oils to your skin. If you want to do what they call a palm inhalation, which is very popular, and you put a couple drops into your palm, like I said, it's going to be processed through your body. And if you're going to do that repeatedly, you're just overexposing yourself to a lot of chemicals. So I recommend also, if you are an esthetician and you do want to use this on your clients, use a cotton pad or a scent strip to be able to apply the essential oil and then put it under your nose or your client's nose. Again, it's just going to avoid a lot of unnecessary overexposure to these essential oils. So if you do want to do a palm inhalation, which is really popular, and you put a couple drops into your palm, if you do this repeatedly, you're also going to be overexposing yourself to a lot of the chemicals in the essential oils. Also, if you are an esthetician and you're using essential oils with your clients, what I recommend instead is using a cotton pad or even fragrance strips to be able to apply the essential oils and put under your own nose or your client's nose. It's just, again, to avoid a lot of overexposure into the skin, as we know that the chemicals will go through your skin and be processed out in the liver. So that's all I have today when it comes to aromatherapy and being kind to your mind. Again, my name is Sarah Song, and it's been awesome to be here with you. Thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for more content on skincare and self-care from Murad.